Go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again today for another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is about how we manifest reality through belief, right? That what you believe about reality is more often or more likely to occur than what you don't believe about reality. You know, to give it like a type of context, if I believed that it's infinitely impossible for me to ever find myself here in America, right? If I believe that there is no hope for me to change my situation, if I believe that there is no ability for me to start a business, if I believe there is no way that I could be a yoga teacher, if I believed all of these things, it would have been true, right? It would have been true. And I feel like that's something that I've been tasked to think about a lot as of right now. It's just the amount of belief. Good morning, Sam. The amount of belief that there is out there, right? I woke up, well, I went to sleep first with a really bad headache. And then I woke up without the headache. And I was like, wow, like that. And then I engaged with belief. And then again, I had a headache. And it's better now, but it's not perfect. I still feel like there's a little bit of pressure in my head. Manifesting reality through belief. Oh yeah? You're here to dunk on us now with your ability to manifest reality through belief? Thanks. No dunking. No dunking. More a matter of like wanting to see you manifest well as well. I mean, you manifested, Sam. You believed it could be possible to see us, right? And then you did. And then you did. Not many people have, but you did, right? You did. And that's pretty cool, Sam. I'd say. I'd say you are manifesting just right. For me, very much so, is thinking about the nature of the people around us as well, right? How many of us really believe that we do have the capacity to manifest our reality? Is it all of us? Is it none of us? Do you believe it, Riz King, Nido? Do you believe that you can manifest a different reality for yourself? And if it's no, why don't you believe it? And if it's yes, why do you believe it? And if it is yes, do you believe it happens instantly? And if it is yes, do you think it takes time? Right? Sometimes you can have it happen like real fast. I've noticed that as well. Right? That if you believe something strongly enough and you do things that align with that belief. Yes, there it is. Oh yeah, Riz King believes in manifestation. Do you think it happens quickly though? I have come to the conclusion that manifestation is absolutely real, 100% real. However, it takes a long time. And after the week that I had, I don't know if it takes that long anymore. It might only take a week first, like brother. Hello, Pang. Pankili Lasayane? I'm sorry for butchering your name, but you were loved and appreciated. Yes, 100%. It's nice to have you here, King. Mr. Riz King, eyes open to Melt's guidepost of learning, ears open to his message. I have something to go and a way to get there. I have somewhere. That's a beautiful message, Hoopy. I'll read it again. Eyes open to Melt's guideposts of learning, ears open to his message. I have somewhere to go and a way to get there. Yeah. That is pretty. I actually like that a lot, Hoopty Hoops. That's a beautiful message you've sent. Where is it that we're going? Right? I would like to believe we're going towards a state of increased unity, right? Increased calm. Yesterday I said it, today I'll say it again. It's something that came up this morning. A divine, unshakable aura. What would that look like? If you were literally unshakable, right? If reality can't, even if it wanted to, convince you to get off of your high horse. No, damn it. I'm a cowboy and I ain't getting on my horse. I'm gonna be sitting on this high horse all the time. On my way to the ranch or something. Maybe to the saloon. Maybe I'm gonna do an old timey shoot 'em up with my revolvers. Yeah. Yeah. What am I talking about? I'm talking about manifesting. That's the joke. All right. I just manifested into your mind me being a cowboy rancher on a horse, riding into a small timey western town. Yeah. Midwestern town. Yeah. Yeah. And it is. It is kind of like that. The somewhere that we're going. Again, right? Like I would like to believe that we're heading towards increased unity. But I think the only way for that to be a thing is if we find absolute stability and confidence inside ourselves, right? We have to reach this point where we know who it is we are so clearly, so unabashedly, so unwilling to move from that point, that high horse, if you will, that you are untouched, that people can say things to you and you don't find yourself made less, right? The word spiral has been in my mind as of late, right? It's so easy for us to spiral. I have spiraled, right? It's like escalation. When you find yourself in like a tense energy and you're just like pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, right? More often than not, something breaks. Something breaks. But when you can sit down and you can look at this thing that you've been pushing, right? Suddenly, breaking becomes a secondary issue. Literally, the actual destruction break, and also the BRAKE break, right? Actually putting some stop to it. What is it you're pushing? I am still trying to push wealth through wellness, right? That really is the only thing that we can really bet on. A conversation was had with a friend where he talks about how if you feel good, you act good, right? And it's very hard for us to get to a point of feeling good in the general sense, especially with how much stuff we got going on that is occupying our minds, right? How good we feel is, whether we believe it or not, a consequence of everything, right? And how much of the everything that you pay attention to will also affect it. I'm trying to get really good at allowing myself to remain aware of the way that I'm trying to get there. Hoopty hoops. I have somewhere to go and a way to get there. The way to get there is through our minds. I'd like to believe, right? That maybe we'll evolve in a way where we'll clip into a whole new reality. Maybe the frequency that we occupy in our brain space will grow so dense that it will clip into or past, Planck length kind of like measuring systems. Maybe that's the manifestation that we have to be occupied with. Maybe this world is already better on the other side of our own illusions. And maybe we just have to believe that it is possible for it to get better. It's the Star-Lord of YouTube, this guy. Good night, bedtime in Australia, bye. Good night, Riz King. You have a good night, bro. It's different when someone self-named Riz King believes in manifestation. He's probably experienced it the hard way. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, one can call himself Riz King. One can. One can do that. Right? This is also an option. I'm sure that it probably dates you, right? Nobody is going to believe you're in your 30s if you call yourself something like Riz King. You're probably, between the ages of 14 and 15. But it's still funny. I kind of like it. The Midwestern howdy. It's such a confusing expression to see it for the first time, I bet. Have I been howdying people? Howdy. I've been saying y'all. I've been saying y'all sometimes. Sometimes I'll say a y'all. Sometimes I'll eat a jerky. Sometimes I'll mow my lawn. I have to mow my lawn today. Damn it. My neighbor and us share a yard, essentially, right? Their yard is attached to our yard. And we don't have any white picket fences up because fencing our yard in seems a little bit contrived. And he has grandkids, and his grandkids will play on our yard when they're over. But his grandkids are not coming over anytime soon. So he didn't cut as much of our yard as he sometimes does. So I got a lot of yard to mow. All right. And the manifestation that I've been applying to that whole experience is in seeing it as exercise. Yeah. Yeah, I put my Whoop tracker on yard work, and then I work the yard. Oh yeah, I work it. And then I get my steps in. I think I take 6,000 steps. I think it's 6,000 steps. 6,000 steps every time I have to mow the yard. I do have a push mower, so, well, it's semi-self-driven, but still pushing. Nowhere fast, going nowhere fast. That's the way it is. Camping is intense. Tama, it's nice having you here too, friend. It's a prat of a Friday and a MeltMore. It's a prat of a Friday and a MeltMore is one of the best people to chill with. Thank you, Char. I do try. I do try to be very cool and chillable. Yeah, 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 yeah. You friends want to see me mow lawns? I'll put on my cowboy hat and stuff even. I'm wearing jeans even because I'm gonna be mowing yards soon. I lost my Angle Life or something like that shirt. I don't know how. It just got freaking voided, shadow round. Our house is not that big. Where could it have gone? Where could it have gone? I don't know. I'll find it at some point. What's the name of the gel that you applied on your hair? I don't use gel. I use a mousse that I don't know the name of. And before I use the mousse, I use a type of butter that's like coconut oil and shea and stuff. And then before I use that, I use a little bit of water. All right, so it goes like wet my hair a little bit, then put the hair food, and then after the hair food is in, I put mousse in my hair. I wish I could tell you the names. I could go and check, but I don't care enough to, Sadia. Unless they're paying me, of course. Yes. Pay me, damn it. Shut up and pay me, corporate brands. And they're relatively cheap products, at least. I think my hair mousse is $5 and my hair food was $15, and I've been using it for 2 months now, and I'm like maybe a quarter way through the mousse. No, through the hair food. The mousse I use a lot more of. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I've gotten good at styling my hair. It's definitely a little bit more involved than it used to be. Sup, Sam? Manifesting over here. No being obnoxious. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sam. Agreed. Don't come to Texas. I'm gonna come straight to Texas. Manifest some work. Manifesting some work. More like Tomo. MeltMore is the best YouTuber to chill with and make s'mores on the weekend. That's cute. Thank you, Char. I'm curious about you, friend. Your love is appreciated. I'll take a picture of what the Miss Western holiday looks like, and you can determine if you've seen it one before, Mel. Dude, Randy, we don't live in a disconnected world. The message of Jesus has already been spread. What you are doing is harassing a group of people who have already been hurt by the church. Leave. Leave, Randy. This is not the place to do so, Randy. Alright, I get that you're probably a robot, but I'm gonna talk to you like you're a person. I'm so sorry. I was gonna say something enlightened and intelligent and smart and stuff, but I was gonna say it instead. What's up, man? You're a cool cat, Raven. Thanks. That's nice of you to say. Good morning to you, Pedro. It's nice having you here too, bro. Yeah, yeah, I'm doing good. Raven, Raven too. Tell me about you. How are you doing? Do you believe in manifestation? That's today's stream topic. Is manifestation real? How long does it take to manifest something? Can you manifest something today? Maybe. I believe in manifestation in the long term, all right? And I do think of it like a matter of belief. Maybe I can like share that part of the topic again today. Was that if you believe something, if you keep something in your mind, right? And let's make it something simple. Make it something as simple as like, I wanna lose weight, right? Or that might be one that's triggering. I wanna uh, learn how to play tennis, all right? And then you hold in your mind the idea of you playing tennis, right? And then there's a bunch of different ways you can hold that idea. You can hold the idea that, oh, I'm bad at it. I'm just gonna drop the ball over and over again. The other people are gonna laugh at me for trying. Or you can hold that exact same idea in your mind and you can just imagine yourself getting better, right? Enjoying it, making friends that you otherwise wouldn't have had. All right, and depending on what you believe and what your mental fractal is as you're looking at reality through it, right? Reality will start to take shape based on the lens that you apply to it. And I have seen this personally in my own life. So it's not something that I am asking if you believe because I want validation, but because I want to hear how it's happened for you, right? I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for asking. I'm happy that you're doing good. Have you been manifesting, Raven? Dang, Melt is speaking in tongues. I was just speaking in tongues a little bit. I had a moment yesterday. What happened? Oh yes, I like tuned myself, right? Sometimes I'll do this thing. If I manifest hard enough, I'll be able to fly. I mean, technically yes. Personally, no. You can manifest like, oh, I want to get on a plane and go to Morocco. I can see myself in Morocco now, you know? And then you can like think, oh, if I want to go to Morocco, then I'm probably gonna need some money. So maybe I can do something. And you can imagine yourself. Maybe I can like cut someone's grass. Maybe I could wash the sides of people's home with a pressure washer. Maybe I can work a shift at McDonald's, whatever, right? And in that way, you are manifesting yourself towards flying, right? Flying yourself might not be as easy. Tains, it's nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for finding yourself in this space. Sit down. You can keep your beliefs. Oh yeah, you can. However, I would like for you to be challenged in it, right? Maybe you'll learn that you don't know everything, just like I have. Just like I have. I think honestly, I think it depends on the goal. Agreed. I'm imagining a T-Rex trying to mow the lawn. That's pretty cool. I can get myself one of those blow up costumes of a T-Rex, and I can mow the lawn with it. Them speaking in tongues. Woo! Suddenly I skipped a lot. Or just say it as I'm typing. Hi, I'm back. Welcome back, Zaps. Mm, if you manifest enough peyote, that's hilarious. What's going on, buddy? What's the topic? Hey, combat journey. Today's topic is about manifesting reality, right? Reality already is. Everything in reality already is, right? So the hard part in that way, for the most part, has been done for you. One of the things that I've been manifesting really hard. Sorry, I just heard something outside. One of the things I've been manifesting very hard is a super suit. Yes. And like I have steps. I have steps as to which the super suit will have to follow, right? Step one is probably going to be just like some rudimentary white and black pixels, right? And I think they've already made that, at Adobe. So essentially like an outfit that I can switch different little pixels on or off, right? Very simple. And they're big pixels as well. And you use like, is it chromatic? There's a certain word for it, dichromatic, right? Where if you put an electron, or if you put an electric charge through it, it changes its state, right? So very simple. Then, second supersuit is going to have small little LED panels or OLED panels, right? Instead of just the little electric charge switchers. And then I'll probably wear that one for a very long time, iterating on that to create like good cooling systems, right? Having like high density little tubulars that go over my hands and my feet to keep me cold. Have like some sort of central processor of the heat, on my back or something. And then maybe like 10 years later, there'll be nanomachines. Yes. Having all of those functions, having the ability to potentially output light if they need to, having the potential to run heat away from my body, but also eventually having the potential to be shaped into tools that I can use and then reapply to myself, right? Like a small film, right? Take a small film off of yourself, turn it into screwdriver, drive screw, take that screwdriver, unfold it, put it back as a thin film over your body. Yeah, that's what I'm manifesting. I've been manifesting that for a long time. And one day I will. One day I'll come and sit on this stream with super suit on. I can see it in my mind's eye right now. I can see it. Looks pretty cool. I'm even more jacked in the future. Great. Fantastic. Love that love that for myself. So that's basically the nature of the conversation, combat journey. Is thinking about the nature of manifestation, right? And the way that belief shapes our reality. Because again, none of what I just said is real yet. But because I believe it so strongly in my mind, you cannot convince me that it won't be real at some point, right? Like I can see it. I can see it inside. I might not be able to see it out here yet, but one day I will. And then there is the parts of manifestation that is already real, right? And I think that's even easier. If you want something that's already here in this world, you'll have less of a hard time. You will have to do less from your side in believing, right? Because the belief part, I feel, is the hard part, right? That's the hard part that is, needing to be shaped. Because unfortunately, the world might try to convince you to not believe, right, in your manifested reality. And it is hard. It is hard for me to like articulate the way that I have come to the conclusion myself. But I am sure you friends have seen it. You friends have seen it yourself. How choosing to believe something about reality that's not necessarily helpful does actually beget a less helpful reality. A certain study. Good morning, fine folks. Tomo and Sam and Zapson, Pedro and Combat and Raven and Char. All y'all here and there, near and far, now and later, worky lurky love you as I busy buzz in the office space. I love you, Zhao. Thank you for sharing a moment with us, dear friend. Keep it up and you're gonna get bonked. Don't be rude. Agreed. Cool. Love is true. I saw the trailer for Disclosure Day. You said you watched it, right? I did. I did watch Disclosure Day. We did. It was a movie. It was a movie. That you can believe. If you're gonna go and watch Disclosure Day, you're gonna be seeing a movie. Yeah. The film is based in our knowns, right? The general consensus of what we know about aliens. What we think we know. What we think we've been told about what we know about aliens is in that movie. Alright, and if you like aliens, you might not enjoy that movie too much. Right? There's not a lot of aliens, which might be a spoiler. However, it is a movie about human connection and empathy. Right? And I think it's important for us to consider those kinds of ideas as well, because the future we're heading into is going to be wild by all metrics that we can think about. The fuck? I'm hearing some strange sounds out there. Is that a Yauskebao, motherfucker? Yauskebao, motherfucker! Damn. Damn, Gabadoo is coming in with some energies. Just like spotlight in my eyeballs. Hey, Gobs. Goobity goops. It's nice having you here, bro. Does a person need to show their parents of the southern nobility? Does a person need to show their patents of southern nobility in order to use the word Yao? Deal with it. How it's been dealt with. Show us the patents. Or is it parents? Were you meaning parents? Show their parents of southern nobility or patents. Show us your patents of southern nobility, Gabadoo, before you dare yell us. Hell yeah, Midwestern AF. And I also say, oop, and slap my knee with a whelp when it's time to go. I do the whelp as well. Oh my goodness, I'm already Midwestern. It's happened. There's no way back. I also take 20 minutes minimum to say goodbye on the phone. Stand out on the porch in high winds and go, grass is gonna get crazy after this. And roundly disrespect the tornado sirens. That's hilarious, Sam. You'd be surprised how many of those traits is exactly what Joe does. I think literally yesterday. Yeah, literally yes. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Joe had a moment like that where he was also on the phone and was also saying goodbye and also on the porch as the wind was winding. And I also disrespect the tornado sirens. They do have tornado sirens. They test them every Friday. They're gonna test them today. I ain't scared of no tornadoes. Right? I think there's a part of me that's kind of like grim, where it's like, Yossi, dude, if the tornado was gonna take my whole house, take me with it. No, bad melt. Yeah, you're right. I should be a little bit more concerned with my well-being. But I also believe in this home, right? It's gonna take the roof first, right? Right. I'm suddenly just going to be like, me, 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 if it happens, which it won't. But if it happened, I'm like, me, 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 me. And then suddenly I open my eyes and there's no roof anymore. And I'm like, wow. Now I'm getting rained on. And then I'll move to the basement. Okay. But I'm gonna not be happy about it. I'm gonna be like, fuck. No, I don't have a roof. Damn it. Fine, I'll go to the basement. At least there's roof in the basement. We call it floor, but that's fine. That's fine. Also, love again. Melt freaking out about girl squirrel outside. Bet. I think it might be girl squirrel. I was like hearing things like, which sounds like really close to the house. I have a pet squirrel that I've named Gregory. Love you, Joe. Gobbity I love yous. That's awesome. There you go. Love is true. I heard you talk about it. I thought it was a documentary. I didn't know it was a film. I thought they'd released some like real footage or something of aliens. I hoped so. That's what I was like desperately hoping for. I was like, please, please. They did again. The aliens that I think they showed felt like it could have been real, but it's not. And that's the part that I took issue with. If they got some real like military footage or something like that, you know, some stuff hidden in the crevasse of some basement, right, that they unearthed and then cut that into the movie, I would have lost my mind. But no, instead they spend millions of dollars CGIing stuff. Damn it, I don't want to see no CGI aliens. I want to see real aliens. Come on. Come on, I'm ready. I'm ready, dude. Maybe that's what's happening as well. Maybe they're conditioning all of us to be like, come on, no, come on. Come on, give me the, come on. Give me the real stuff. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe they're trying to like bait us into wanting to see the aliens, right? So that when we see them, we're like, well, we wanted this. We did ask, right? So we can't say no backsies. Or we can't say no backsies. So that's what love looks like. I do too, especially when it's my mama. Aw, Tomo, that's awesome. I just hang up and they just find some shit to talk about Jovan. There's no way to Irish exit on my mother-in-law when she's diving in and talking on the speakerphone at the same time. She's driving and talking on the speakerphone at the same time. Yeah, I had a chat with my mom. She has been really well. She's been painting. She's been baking. Living her life. She's been sleeping in a little bit later as well, now that she doesn't have any kids to take care of anymore. She's intermittent fasting, taking her creatine. She's taking collagen as well. I don't know if she's taking collagen peptides. I did ask her to send me a photo of the brand she uses so that I can scrutinize and be like, fine, this is okay. But I haven't been able to do that. I do want to make sure she's taking the right stuff. But she's doing good. She's taking good care of herself, and it makes me happy. Dad is doing good. He's working it up, making differences, making deals, helping people. That's the cool thing as well. He just went to Zimbabwe, and in Zimbabwe, he was like working with a team, and then he's working with one of the younger people that just like desperately wants to learn. And he's teaching him things, right? He's actually just telling him everything, right? There is a little bit of job insecurity. A little bit of. There's a lot of job insecurity in South Africa, right? If you have a job, you're amongst the lucky ones. So as a result, right, there is a culture of not wanting to teach the people below you what you know. Because in teaching them what you know, now they can kind of do your job, right? And you already are so grateful to have your job, you don't want anybody else competing with your job. So my dad goes to Zimbabwe. And this young guy who's been taught like essentially nothing, he's forced to just be like basic laborer, and he teaches him all of these systems, right? Like how to calculate the throughput, how to calculate the concentrations of cyanide that they have to use, how to rotate the bins, so you make sure your carbon gets filled correctly, how you rotate the filled carbon back into the initial stages or to the end stages, or no. There's whole processes, right? And like he's just teaching them everything. And it makes me happy to think that my dad is out there being an educator. I've like said this to him for a long time, that I think is going to be his like ultimate skill, is in being able to teach people how these things work, right? Because my dad's a smart guy and he likes teaching as well, I think. It's like we are similar in character types, in that way. So he's doing well too. And yeah, I am the one that usually ends the phone calls, Sam. I get very matter of fact about it. I like ask all of the caring questions. I'm like, and this and that. And then, it reaches that point of like, and then I'll be like, okay, is there anything else on your mind? You thinking about anything else? And then if no, then I say bye-bye. I'm like, okay, all right. And still it takes me 15 minutes sometimes to say goodbye. Even if I do try to be a little bit more direct with it. Tomo, sweethearts, sweethearts, love is lovely. I couldn't remember how often they tested NATO sirens. I thought it was once a month. They test them every week, every single week. Like, my dude. And they don't test them like, woo! Okay, they're working. Good. They fucking test them. Like freaking 3 minutes of sirening. I'm like, bro. But you don't need to do that. You can wing, and it works. It works. You're like, it worked. Wing. You don't need to keep going. Why do you keep going? I think there's someone that's just like that's his job probably. Full-time job is just checking if it works. So he has to make sure everybody heard. Everybody heard he's doing his job. Everybody gonna hear. Nobody gonna not hear he's doing his job. They test them once a month, but they go up all the goddamn time right now because we're in the middle of storm season and somebody clearly isn't from here because they go off for no reason. It's his job, Sam. He's making sure everybody knows he be doing him job. Yeah, yo peeps, surprise day off. It's apparently Juneteenth. I don't know what that means. Juneteenth? You just got a surprise day off? If that's the case, Darren, I hope you have a good one. I am at work, Darren. How dare you have a holiday off? Yeah, Darren, you should like work an hour of all of our jobs to make up for this discretion. Who is Mel taking issue with? I'm back. I'm not taking issue with anyone. Nobody is being taken issue with. I am just happy to be here with you. I have been joking a little bit about the tornado siren guy. Asshole. He's just doing his job. I shouldn't be calling him an asshole. Bro, I've been thinking maybe I should be a soldier. Yes, Kid D, let's think about being soldier. Right? And now, let's try thinking about not being soldier. Yeah. Thinking about soldier? Thinking about not being soldier. Yeah. You see? Manipulation. Yes, don't be a soldier, please. For all that's good in the world, don't. Please, like seriously. The robots, let the robots be the soldiers. Let robots shoot each other. Pew, 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 pew. Let them. Neo. If you get pew, 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 pew. We don't want that. All right. Okay, Kid D. Love is true. Yes. On this day in history, the Union had to march its ass into Gavelton Bay to free the very last slaves of the Confederacy. That is today? Nice. Way to go. Union. Noon. every Friday. The kidder stand still and look up at the sky, all wired out by the NATO woo-woos. It's unsettling, but we get used to it. Every Friday. Maybe it's because we're in the middle. I don't even know. I was gonna say maybe it's because we're in the middle of the forest. There's a guy flying his RC plane out there. That's fun. This place. I really like America. America is so cool. Damn, America is sick. Even if there's tornado sirens. I wanted to say something, but we're talking about manifesting today, right? I was gonna say I've never seen a tornado, and then my mind was like, "How about you don't? How about we don't see tornadoes? How about that? Fine, mind, fine. I'll watch a tornado chasers or something, and get my tornado fix from afar." I forgot they made today a national holiday. I had stuff to do after work, and now I don't know what I'm going to do with my afternoon. They closed the businesses and stuff, Tomo. What do you mean if you had stuff to do? You can't do stuff anymore because of it? I bet my dogs would howl along to a NATO woo woo. Do they, you said you have them like once a month, right? Do they howl to those? Aww. Gobbledygook. The kids do like me, right? I have like a bunch of little nephews, and one of my nephews, Elias, he he's like very much in the meme culture, like that era of brain damage, right? And then he'll go one. He'll just like look at me like the first time he did it. He goes like 1, 2. I'm like, what the fuck is this kid counting for? 3, 4, like 5, 6, 7, ha, 6, 7. And I'm like, and then while he's like, ha ha, 6, 7, I'm fucking doing it with him. And then he laughs even harder. And then he goes, you know, Freddy Fazbear? And then I stop. And I go, dong, dong, da dong, 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 da dong, da dong, 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 da dong. And then he starts laughing, runs and hides behind the couch. I can be cool like the kids. I can be hip with it. On my way to 30, still 6'9". It's not 6'9", it's 6'7", okay. Maybe they're trying to like convince them to 6'7" instead of 6'9". I should not say that out loud. Please, somebody change the topic. Please, somebody quick. Darren too, love to you. I was trying to multitask at work, but I'm so happy to see all beautiful people. Am I helping? Is my noise helping? Oh, husky life must be bananas. I'm visiting with my mom tomorrow. Gobs, that sounds nice. What are you doing next week, bro? What are you doing the week after that? I think it's time for me and you to come and meet each other. Like maybe we can meet halfway. I'll drive all the way from here to... I want to pretend like I know that way. And then you drive this way, and then we'll no. We'll maybe we can do like a... I can do like a... Yes. Yeah. Like that. It's pretty chill. It's hot now. And I started working at 6:30 a.m. So I get out at 4:30. And I walk down before work when it's the coolest out. Checks out. I was like feeling about like, I was literally thinking after I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning, I was like, I should go and cut the grass right now. The fact that I had that thought without being prompted, you know, made me feel like I'm really American right now. Like, super American. I am still figuring out ways to communicate to my mom. The message, no. Yeah. I haven't needed to tell my mom no quite as much. The last time I had like a really strong no to my mom was when I bought my Jupiter painting, Hoopty Hoops, where I bought this Go Giga Chad painting, like what is it, 3 meters by 1.8 meters. That is Is it like 11 feet? 11 feet by 8 feet? Massive. Just like comically massive painting. And upon acquiring it, right, and telling my mom the size of it, she promptly let me know that it will not fit in my room. To which I said, yes, yes, it will. I measured the room. And then she was like, no, it's not gonna fit. And I'm like, mother, don't tell me what I can and cannot do. That's what I said to her. Hoopy, don't tell me what I can't do, right? I would like freaking build bigger wall. I'll knock down wall and build bigger wall if it means making sure that I do the thing that I thought I could do. And I did. I had to move my clothing cupboard, closet. My closet. Shimmy it up a little bit, but that painting fit like perfectly on that wall, exactly the way I envisioned. And my mom telling me that I can't was the thing, right? She hasn't told me I can't anything else since then, because I was like, hey, if I say I'm gonna do something, I have already considered, all right? The point at which I start saying I'm gonna do something is like 75 layers away from me starting to consider doing something, right? It's like 75 layers of consider, then 75 layers of planning, and then finally there's one layer of actually speaking it out loud. Good morning, Hoopers. I ate 2 bananas. We're all out of bananas on this side. Yeah, I was thinking that it was a Jeremy Corbell documentary, like the Bob Lazar thing that you... Have you ever watched Lieutenant Dan favor the guy who saw the Tic Tac? He was on Rogan. You ever watched that? I don't think I have, but I think I've seen snippets from that episode that you're talking about. Raspberry zinger tea to start my day. That sounds kind of nice. No means no, mom. Who? You're just gonna mean it. Nuanced communication isn't necessary when you're standing your ground. She can listen. She's just too far. So far choosing not to. Yeah. Like as I said, right? Like just having like a real strong like, hey, hey, don't be telling me no about this thing that I've already planned, right? Like it's my note is no. I got raspberry zinger in my tea cabinet. It's good stuff. I think you do. Hi, good morning, Mr. Melt. It's me, Anna. Hey, Anna. Or Billy 730, as we say. Is this the first time that you're here, Anna? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. It's nice having you here. Father Time rolls on the same for everyone. It's his job. I don't think he does, though, hoopty hoops. I think we all experience time and the passing thereof, but I am convinced, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that every single one of us experience time differently, right? That how fast your mind processes information shapes your perception of time more than the actual seconds that click on a computer screen. I heard on the radio that there's a rare bird in KC called a brown booby. I do like them. The birds, that is. Oops. Hope the workers' work time goes quick. It's supposed to be in the South American region, but for some reason it's up in Missouri. Maybe it's climate change fractals. Did you hear that, Darren? Melt wants you to stream. You should. You should, Darren. Father Time. I can think about calling him an asshole. And now let's think about something else. Yes. Hoopty hoops. Cool thing about Father Time's contribution is that there is progress made as well towards reversing our aging. And I think that's also going to be a big part of it. Where if we don't age the same way we used to, I think we'll have more appreciation for time as well. Right? Our creativity will suddenly be the only thing limiting our expression. There's a brown booby in Missouri. Yeah. Anna, good morning. Come on, bro. Come on. You're here. Thank you for coming on with me. Fazzy Wazzy was a woman. What? You actually have one in India last year. We all celebrate the boobies. I like the blue-footed boobies. I've heard about the tits, but not my poor transcript. Hey, transcript. If you're reading this right now, we're talking about birds, right? The fact that humans have called these birds these things, it's not my fault, okay? I promise. I'm a good person. Very balanced, very family friendly. Yes, the friendliest of families. Full stop, no cap on God for real, dead. These birds are really pretty. Register my car. My guy put out a new book about the Mahabharata. That's pretty cool. Who's your guy? But for some reason, it's in Missouri. That shit does happen. I think there was a bear sighting of some kind there too. That's hilarious. No, 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 no. Never stop 6 9. I used up all my diamonds, or I would have sent you an uncle alert. There's an uncle alert. There's uncle alert on this freaking YouTube. YouTube is like, yeah, let's give the kids an uncle alert. They're gonna use this one, I'm bet. Sam, I received that comment about mom. Concert next weekend. Next weekend after that, Father's Day is coming up. It is Lone Buffalo, and welcome to you, friend. It's this Sunday. This Sunday is Father's Day. Sawan, I think you might be on the wrong line. Buffalo. It's Kidolphin. Hey, Kidolphin. Thank you for joining us, dear friend, and your manual breathing. Is it you who told me that you want to go to the military? Have you ever seen dolphins in the military? Yeah, Mel, there are dolphins in the military. Don't remind me. Damn it, why would you remind me of that? I was expressly trying to forget that there's military dolphins. I wish I was joking. I think I'm actually being serious. I think there are military dolphins. We could camp somewhere beautiful in the middle of it. We could do that. I think we have a tent as well, actually. Do we have a blow-up mattress? We do have some memory foam. We can sleep uncomfortable for one night or so. Or maybe 2 nights. Hi, Buffalo. I miss seeing Buffalo IRL. I think they're charming as hell and scary too, but mostly charming with safety setups. I also like the way buffaloes look. Do they not cut grass in South Africa? They do. We just don't have rain in the same way and low humidity. So the grass grows way slower, right? You can get away with cutting your grass maybe once every 3 weeks to once a month. Here, it's a non-stop kind of thing. Thank you for the gold coin you gave me. I had a dream about gold coins last night. It was a strange dream. I was like on this old man's property. He was like in his late 80s. And he was just showing me around. And then he brings me into this room filled with graves. Thanks for the poop, dude. Filled with graves, right? And each grave is like dated differently. One of the graves looks like 2003. And I don't know how to explain to you what a grave from 2003 looks like, but that was a 2003 grave if I've ever seen one. I was like, yeah, this is 2003 grave, bro, totally. Right? And then behind all of the graves, he has a big glass cabinet. And in this glass cabinet is gold coins. And I mean a lot. Like, literally millions of dollars. Maybe millions of rands. Thank you for the star. Just like millions. Millions upon millions worth in gold. Right? Standing behind that thing. And then I look around the room and I'm like, this room doesn't even have what we call divirang, which is like burglar bars, right? Doesn't even have any burglar bars on it. And I'm just like thinking to myself, it's like, why are you doing this, right? Like somebody is gonna steal these gold coins from you. I might want to steal. And then you have dreams like that, and you're like suddenly in this whole moral position where you're like, damn. Why are there so many graves? Right? And then I came to the conclusion that he keeps killing the people that want to go and steal his gold coins. And I opted out. I was like, I don't want to be a part of that literal graveyard that's in that room. Are you the fourth Jonas? How did you know? How did you know? I was the one that they didn't want to have part of. Like I was a little kid. I was just a little guy when they were all Jonas brothering. I had to stay behind. Right, stay in the car. Buffaloes are incredibly dumb but resilient animals. I try to channel that every day. Mr. Tooth, the male urge to cut grass in the morning is the biological signal of readiness to have kids. That's how it works. Yeah. I'm officially a man. I'm full man right now. All of my maturities have matured. My beard is gonna grow in so thick now. I'm gonna have one of them thickum beards very soon. Raccoons, resilient AF, resourceful, alarming teeth. That's my spirit animal. What's up, Buffalo? You get 2 emojis. Also, Mr. Tooth, I have some boots and belts made out of shrunken bison. The actual name for the American buffalo hide. Ah, that is pretty neat. Raccoons are one of the forbidden cats. Tell us more about time relativity. Veded? It's a loaded question. Interesting way to think about time relativity, again, is to think about it from a perspective of frequency, right? Like clock speed. The amount of time it takes for a piece of software to be executed, right, in the traditional sense, can be directly limited to your CPU's clock speed. The way CPUs work right now is technically they do one task at a time, right? And they do it so fast in a operating system that they do all of the one things at a time, right? If you have a 5 gigahertz CPU, it's doing 5,000 megahertz, right? Or what is it, 5 million calculations, right? Cycles of calculations in every second, right? So the more of those hertz you get, the more of that frequency you open up to yourself, right? The more things you can fit in the same sliver of time. And I believe it works at least in a semi-similar way to human brains as well. I think all of us have generally the same relative processing speed. And as a result, we experience time through that mechanism, right? Through the speed at which we can process information. So if we figure out a way to increase the processing speed of our brains, or ultimately we change our substrate, we put our human minds on a computer, right? We run ourselves in silicon, we can technically slow down our processing speed, right? And in slowing down our processing speed, we would use less energy relatively to our experience, right? And as a result as well, we would literally slow down. One of the Fermi paradox reasonings, right, why we're not seeing aliens out there, is because every single species, if they develop technology at all, ever, they'll eventually develop artificial intelligence. And as soon as they develop artificial intelligence, it goes from AI gets created to all intelligence is AI in such a small sliver of time that it's very likely that that's why we can't see any of them out there. And then on top of that, if you were an alien species, you would want to slow down your processing speed so much that you're only like having an instance of processing once every billion years or whatever, right? Just to keep that heart ticking so that you can wait until the inevitable heat death of the universe so that you can irradiate all of your heat energy that you build out and you can live even longer, right? You can like extend your time horizon for how much conscious experience can exist by waiting, right, for time to pass, right? For time to have its consequence on the heat that is in our universe. So yeah, boom. Have some time relativity considerations. Time is a matter of processing speed, I think. That's my current bias. However, times also has a reality, right? Like you can watch a tree grow, kind of thing, right? If you just spend time, you can see that happen. However, if you slow down your processing speed, you would still see it happen. But for instance, we have like a daily zzz kind of processing happening. If you could only open your eyes once and experience a moment in time, right, once a day, you would still see that tree grow. And your experience of time wouldn't be any different to your experience of time right now. There would still be the passing of time, even though you would experience instances of it. You could you could be experiencing a sliver of consciousness and then it collapses away for 1 billion years. And then you experience a sliver of consciousness and it collapses away for 1 billion years. And because consciousness has the quality of experience, you and non-experience has the quality of non-experience, you can only experience the experience. You could be experiencing much more time than is actually relatively passing to you. Yeah, it is a confusing one. And it's part of the reason that I want to speed my mind up. I would like for time to slow down. If time slows down, it will probably mean that I will die faster. But maybe I'll, upload myself to the cloud or something by the time I'm old and decrepit. Or I'll give myself some sort of robot body. Right? One or the other. Would be cool to see how time changes. Right? I think it will probably happen for us. Time does seem to be shrinking. Opossums, skunks, and raccoons, none of them will let me cuddle them. You just have to try harder. A possum and a raccoon can be domesticated. I reckon it's more work than it's worth, though. Yeah, they can be naughty, both of them. We got Paba joining us again. Hello, friend. We got Mr. Bowhunt, Australia, saying hi to me as a Safa again. Welcome, friend. Absolute power. Thank you for the love that you've sent. Good. Like you're speaking from experience, God. What about skunks? I do love skunks, but there's too many of them in my neighborhood. Yeah, maybe if you remove the stink gland, could be again something you might want in your house. But Yasi, they do smell. Like you can smell a skunk in your neighborhood even if you can't see it. I think Joe is right. Oh no. I think that's just Zoe. I'm gonna go and look if it's a squirrel. Much bigger, the living painting in the internetscape, transmitting across vast distances and through long time periods. I think me and Hoopy are saying something similar, even though we didn't intend to. Dozens of buffaloes jump in my area. It's absolutely normal to decorate your yard with buffalo skulls. That's kind of wild. Yep, there are Navy dolphins. They're trying to do a variety of things. It's true. I've worked with all 3 forbidden cats, baby skunks, Stomp, all the cute when they're trying to be intimidating. It's like a bunny. Once they're domesticated, they'll do things like hide your remote control. Wildlife rehabilitation. Yeah. Meltmore and mods, I need to tell you something very important. It's pretty dope, Joe. You already know. You already know. Yeah. Tell us your important thing. Absolute power. Your dreams sound like you met Jeff Bezos, maybe Elon Musk. That sounds like what it would be meeting them. I don't know. I don't think Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos collect gold coins. I could be wrong, of course. But this seemed like just like some old man, He didn't look like he was rich necessarily. He just looked like he's been buying gold since he was 20 or something. Oh, hey, how's Sam and little one today? Little Seth, do let us know. Love from India to you, Shivam Puki. Thank you for joining us too. Thyme, oregano, and green salsa with lime tostitos. Food talk. Tooth making me hungry. Me too. We made some more pudding. We added an extra egg to our recipe, Lone Buffalo. Still works. The egg flavor does not come through. I'd like to upload my body into a sleeve like Altered Carbon. Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too, Lone Buffalo. Altered Carbon was very cool. I want to watch it again, actually. It's a little bit Yossi Bobasi. There's definitely Yossi parts of it, but I also I want that hotel. I want a hotel that has machine guns and would be willing to defend me. I want that. Is that too much to ask? You know, can't a man dream? Can't a man dream for a robot butler that will also use violence to, to defend my person? Can't, right? Like I think that hotel was crazy. I think it like kind of takes hostages, but I could be a hostage. You know, I could be. I could be passenger princess. What's that other word? I'm forgetting it. When you're a hostage, but you like being a hostage. One of you friends are reminding me of what it is right now. Come on, send it to me directly to my brain. It is. It's reaching me, but it's not clear. Not imposter syndrome. No, it's escaping me. And scroll down. Stockholm syndrome. Thank you, Tomo. That's it. That's the one. I could Stockholm syndrome a little bit. Just a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. The freaking altered garment sleeves. You can do fun jackass shit, then go back to your normal body when you're done. Literally, you don't have to be rich because bodies are expensive. But yeah, it's a sign. Said welcome. I think they boat sailed a long time ago. Rose. A squirrel got into the sunroom once because there were sunflower seeds are. Motherfucking parkoured off my chest to bounce off the door. Don't be misled by their cute. They're naughty. Did they just. Did you just say Iran mosque? I said Iran. You know, Irama. Irama. That means to be a parody Twitter account. Morning, it's me, Anna. I'm drinking coffee while watching you. Welcome, Anna. Again, it's nice having you. You have no idea how much you just helped me with. Thank you. You may have saved my life. I must get back to my peak processing speed. Yeah, they did. I don't know if you're being facetious, but seriously, thank you for asking cool questions. All right. It is trippy to think about time relativity, and if you heard what I said and it made you like, and that's giving you some extra hope for life, boom. That makes me super happy to find out. Stockholm Syndrome. Thanks, Joe Bot. Thank you, Billy or Anna. What is Stockholm Syndrome? From Anna. Stockholm Syndrome is when you're kidnapped, right? And you start to, in the literature, fall in love with, become associated with, dependent on your kidnapper, right? It's like you get kidnapped and then suddenly you're like, wow, this is kind of nice. You know, I think I love you. You know, I want to actually be with you forever. Please continue to kidnap me. Stockholm Syndrome. Yassified South Africans. Yeah, yassified South Africans, I think. Nani? Nani? Yassi Bobasi is like silly Bo Billy, but more serious. Bo serious. Bo serious. Yes. Yes, Joe knows. It's you basically just add Bo to anything, you know? And then if you want to like add even more, you say Yassi. Yassi is like, damn. That's like Afrikaans, damn, Yassi. And then Bobasi is just like, damn, Bobam. You know, like you're saying like, damn, Bobam. I can't believe you just said that. Yassi Babasi. Ik je dit dan net gezegd? Oh, thank you. I like your t-shirt. Thank you. It's a swoopy swoopy one. It's not my most interesting t-shirt. And it's also not a t-shirt, technically, is it? Stockholm Syndrome is when a captive or a hostage develops feelings or loyalty. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for that I couldn't get. The loyalty towards their captor or abusers. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's why you don't talk to strangers online. I mean, you can get kidnapped if you talk to strangers online. That is true. However, you have to get, to the point first. I choose you, Balbazar. Sends a bunch of snakes. You develop feelings and they may be platonic, whatever, for your capture. Yeah. Stockholm is completely made up, mind you. If it was real, the Jews that were held hostage in dark caves for over a year would have loved. Yo, that's fucking a hot take, John. Yeah, that's a little bit much. I'm not saying that you're like you shouldn't have said that, but that is like bro, what? Yeah, yeah. What the holy Oh my goodness, John. You're loved, bro. I hope you know that just because that comment got removed doesn't mean that you're any less loved. What he says is technically true. Apparently, Stockholm Syndrome is not actually a thing. However, right, I think it's one of those circumstantial things where I don't think it's a thing for everyone. I think it's maybe like some people. Some people are susceptible to having that, but I don't think it's a thing that just happens due to being kidnapped. Right? It's like if you've been like isolated, socially isolated, and you've never felt important, or you've never felt loved or cared for, and then suddenly you get kidnapped. Now suddenly you do feel like you're important because why would this person kidnap me? I must be special somehow. And then you can become attached to that feeling of wanting to be special, and you can associate this captor with that feeling, and then you can maybe Stockholm syndrome yourself. But I don't think it's as simple as, just like kidnap some people. Eventually they'll like you. Blocking that comment, lol, caves. What is foos in Afrikaans? Foos? Foos. I don't know that word. Foos? Fos? What word are you looking for? Are you trying to say the Afrikaans word, or are you asking me a word in English? Food? Food in Afrikaans? Kos is our word for Afrikaans. That could be a topic for a melt stream one day. The Plato's allegory of the cave. We have talked about the allegory of the cave a little bit in this space, but it could be apt to have it really written out what it is we want to talk about. In light, Plato's allegory of the cave is a bunch of people that are essentially strapped, right, against a wall in a cave, right? And they cannot see out of the cave, but they can see the shadows of things that move past the cave. And the only thing they ever get to see are the shadows on the wall in front of them, right? They see the silhouette of a horse and they go, oh, that's a horse. They see the silhouette of a person and they're like, oh, that's a person. They see the silhouette of, two people holding hands and they're like, oh, that must be love or whatever, right? And then one of the people gets to break out of the cave and they get to actually exit the cave and they get to look at a horse for the first time. They get to look at a person for the first time. They get to look at people holding hands for the first time. Maybe they see someone grabbing someone and pulling them aggressively, right? And in seeing all of that, they realize, oh, what we thought is reality. What we thought a horse looked like, what we thought a person looked like, what we thought hand holding means might not mean, right? There's more nuance to it than what I knew. And then if that person goes right back to the cave and talks to the other people that are still stuck in it, be like, hey, the world is not what we think it is out there. We should actually, come on, free yourselves. Let's go and see the real world. Come on, horses are three-dimensional objects. They have long faces. They stink a little bit. All right, it'll be like, nah-uh. right? That's the other side of the allegory of the cave. Is like the people that are still stuck in the cave will be like, nope, you're lying. There's something wrong with you. You must be stupid. You must have fallen on your head out there, because I've known that the horse is that shadow shape my entire life, and it couldn't be anything else. How dare you even suggest so much? It is a fun, like, and again, we are, we are in the cave in that whole allegory. The allegory is a perspective to help you understand that you are in that cave as well, that this is the shadow, all right? And you come to a conclusion about what this place is and how this place operates, but you're more than likely wrong. And then when you put your mind even further out, right, and you get the even higher dimensional perspective, and you see everyone as one, right? There is no separation between me and you. And you come and bring that message to a person, you're going to be called crazy for the same reasons. Because you're like, oh yeah, we're one person? Nuh-uh. I've been myself this whole time, and you've been yourself this whole time. Right? You all made it political. The entire concept is an extreme sketch that ignores key issues and points. I'm not making anything political, The Last of the Survivors. It's more a matter of like the way algorithms will probably see a comment like that, right? We don't try and self-censor ourselves, ideally, but we also try to like steer past certain topics, right? You could have said anything, but you did call to points into thought, right? That might be considered in a certain way. Too much. No, I heard it somewhere, and I was pretty sure it was from your country. But I might be spelling it wrong. There's a bunch of words with the same last three-letter spelling, but they're not very nice. That's what it means. Good. That's what it means. Just checked. Hey, Prairie Wolf, it's nice having you here too. Causation and correlation. You can get hit in the head and it causes schizophrenia to develop. But not everyone who gets hit in the head develops schizophrenia. Exactly. I agree. That's a weird example. It is a little bit of a weird example, but I think what Joe is saying is right. You know, it's like you might be susceptible to schizophrenia, right, beforehand, and then you get hit in the head, and then that brain injury causes that susceptibility to become manifest, right? And I think it could be the same thing for something like Stockholm syndrome too. Did you hear it attached to some words, like may they have looked like raw, row, and da? Daus, rous. I don't know those either. Getting back on topic. Today's topic is manifesting, right? And maybe that's something to consider in this whole allegory of the cave as well. Is that what are we manifesting? Are we manifesting more insight for ourselves? Are we going to hold our minds and hearts open to having everything, our entire perception of reality changed? I try to, but I might be wrong, right? Maybe I am not ready. Maybe I couldn't handle it either. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room full of rats. And the rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a rubber room full of rats. And the rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. Hoopy, you'd make an excellent Doctor Who. He would. Sam, who says I'm not? Hey, hey, yay, yay. Come and visit me, Hoopty. Use your little phone booth, though. I wanna go and travel the universe, please. The cave allegory is what the Queen meant by "I see a little silhouette of a man, Scamarouche. I will do the fandango, thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Galileo, Galileo, Galileo Figaro." I like cave because my older generation isn't caveman. When you're boring in the cave, you may try drawing in the cave. I like Kevin. Mojo, Jojo. Mojo. It's nice having you here too, bro. Sending you big loves. Yeah. That does check out. I can imagine Queen being all mindful. Queen and the Beatles, man, those individuals had a lot to say. Music that still is there to touch our souls, even though many of the artists are no longer there to do it themselves. Manifesting reality through belief. How will my manifested reality continue to change? Because again, your belief is something that's shaped, right? I honestly believe that there is a conceited effort to manipulate you into believing certain things. I think that's the warfare we're having right now. Warfare, it's a war for your minds. It's a war for your minds. It's a war for your ability to manifest a better world for yourself. Right? That if everybody believes there is no hope, then that's the only way to guarantee without a shadow of a doubt that that is the outcome we find. Right? And as soon as you have this willingness to take full responsibility over the way your life is going to continue to progress, I think only then are you going to start making the real changes that is necessary. Let's see what I've missed. Dan says, I've been sitting here for an hour and a half watching Buff treat everybody here with respect, so he's totally capable, just chooses not to with me. Well, that's not a very respectful thing to end your message with, Dan. Right? That's what I like to believe. That's the point that I think is important for us to consider. Right? Because again, Lone Buffalo hasn't, at least in my mind, tried to engage in bad faith day. Right? And again, as we had that conversation a while ago, thinking about the fractal of every single day is a new day, right? And to give you and to give Lone Buffalo the space to change, right? And I feel like every single day is a new day for that, right? As you said, you've been here for an hour and a half, right? You could have said anything over the last hour and a half, but you did end that message on a strong note. And I don't think that's the best way to manifest, right? That's not the best way to manifest an ideal outcome for either of us. Not for me, not for you, Dan, not for Lone Buffalo. Let's find some common ground, all right? Common ground for me today is that you and me and all of us are manifesting a certain state of reality based on what we believe. And it seems that there is a belief of like inability to change, right? Maybe in yourself, maybe you believe you can't change. Maybe you believe that Lone Buffalo can't change. But that's not the way that we have shown up. That's not the lesson we've been teaching each other in this space. We've done nothing but encourage positive change. And I am going to continue to manifest and show up for the good of it. My totems are what they are. Your totems, I'm curious. Totems as in like those heads stacked on top of each other. The more I think of it, yeah, I can connect the dots to Queen and the allegory. Buffaloes eat grass. Go touchdown. Yeah, not today. Prairie wolf. I connected deeply with the allegory from Plato back in high school. Me too, hoopty hoops. Was one of those like aha moments. I unfortunately got into reading Freud as well in high school, right? And I got really into the whole id, ego, and superego understanding as well. And it did mess with me a little bit, I think. That's very neat. Wolfie is my last name, and I live in the foothills of the Rockies where the endless prairies begin. That's so cute. Hearing the lore of your name like that. A prairie wolf is just a coyote. That's hilarious. I enter the chat after I wake up. Usually, I wake up late and I miss the stream, and I'm immediately having toxicity from this community. So I'm just a schizo to you all. John, same thing, right? That we just had a conversation about. It's like, what reality are you manifesting for yourself? I think the comment that you said did have a little bit of uh, like yikes energy. Not schizo, just a bit yikes, right? Like, is that going to, if a person reads that message, is it going to fill their heart with any joy? Likely not. You were talking about people being tortured, right, for a year in a cave, right? That's pretty dark, right? Not schizophrenic, just a little bit dark. And we're trying to keep it light. We're trying to keep it in the nature, in the air of manifestation. Like we're trying to manifest the best case scenario reality for all of us, right? And we do that by believing things about our reality. Looking at the community being like, you shouldn't say stuff like that, and being like, oh, I must be schizo then. I believe the community is toxicitying me and I must be schizo, I guess, right? Why are you believing that? There is so much else you could be believing instead. And I want, for your well being, for you to not believe such a thing, because that's not what we have told you. Listen very carefully to what we say, not to what you think we mean by it. I don't know where Mel places his focus these days. I am placing my focus on manifesting the ideal reality for myself, hoopty hoops. If you can see the amount of progress that has happened around our home, you would see that that is where I place my focus, right? This is a small microcosm of my entire experience, right? Outside of this experience, I do a lot of work and I appreciate the work that I do. I show up for it every day. Anyways, I love y'all. Today's been fun. I'm gonna lurk today, and y'all have been manifesting good energies. I appreciate the energy you brought to this space on this new day. As we love you, y'all. Thank you for joining us too. The message I removed was intentionally worded to cause a debate, which is why it got immediately removed and why the group reacted the way it did. We take some responsibility. How are you? Yeah, that's a good question to ask. I, for instance, John, woke up with a little bit of a headache this morning, right? Just like last night, went to bed with a headache. This morning, woke up and then had a headache. And I felt heavy. I felt this sense of like pounding as I was trying to do my yoga. And I I have before, at least, noticed how feeling that way causes me to be uninteresting or lazy in my expression. And I didn't want to believe that that was going to be the case for today's stream. And I feel like for the most part, I haven't let my headache bleed into this energy that we create. Right? So that is the hope that I hold out for you too. What brings you to the YouTube live survivor? I practice slowing down via a ritual. It helped me develop the soft focus side of my processing potential, which I am speaking integration. John, I'm still reading your messages. Literal abuse of people, talking about Stockholm Syndrome. I was talking about I could get Stockholm Syndrome for a hotel that would defend me, right? We were joking about Altered Carbon and how if you've watched Altered Carbon, you would have seen or met the character that is the hotel the protagonist lives in, right? And nobody else lives in that hotel because it's crazy. It's insane, right? And again, none of this is real. We're just spitballing, having a conversation, trying to be playful with our communication, right? So I was like, can't a man want a hotel that will defend him with miniguns, right? Like, you think I actually want that? Hell no. Hell no, bro. Like, imagine, somebody just has like ill intent, but they just want to have like a conversation, and then suddenly this hotel blasts them with miniguns, right? Like, nobody wants that. I was joking. And then I was continuing down this line of joking of like, yeah, I could, fall in love with a hotel, like, yes, he's gonna keep me hostage probably forever, but I could Stockholm syndrome. I wasn't trying to glorify it. We were making jokes about myself getting Stockholm syndrome in a world where there's a sentient hotel, right, that wants to keep me. So we're so far away from talking about people, abuse of people, and we're talking about that thing alone. And then we had friends ask about what is Stockholm syndrome, and then I explained. There was no glorification of it, right? None whatsoever, right? And again, you just got here, so maybe you missed all of that context before, and you didn't hear where I was coming from. And that's okay as well, right? But what are you manifesting for yourself right now? That's the question I'm here to ask you. To each their own. John, right? If you don't want to be a part of this community, I think there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of churn. Let's say it in so many words, right? I have been doing this. You've been a fan for 4 years. I didn't know you've been around for this long. I think you've been around since the ARPAN days, right? Then technically. Right? Thousands. Thousands upon thousands of people are not in this space right now that have been here before. And I can tell myself a story, right? I can manifest a reality for myself through my belief that because this, then that. And you have brought some sentiments like that into the stream as well. It's like, yeah, no, if I was welcomed, or if people were welcomed, there would be more people in this space, right? Like, it's so correlative. It's so simple, right? For instance, I can like make this very simple. Just moving from South Africa to America, my viewership 3x'd. Something as simple as that. Just depending on where I'm streaming from, the IP address that my phone is sending out to the local YouTube servers. Suddenly, I have 3 more viewerships, right? Per one viewership. I have like tripled my viewership, tripled my watch time, tripled my subscriber count growth. And also, I haven't actually like upped my earning potential that much, but like almost doubled my earning potential, right? So then I can be like, oh yeah, if you want to be a streamer, just move to America. Like, it's going to be that easy as well, right? I could probably have a lot more viewership by creating different content than I am creating right now. I could have more viewership by not welcoming you at all, by pretending you don't exist, by forcing you to pay, right? If you want me to reply to your message, then send a super chat, right? There's YouTubers that do that too, with even more viewership than I have right now. I cannot shape the reality that you create. It's up for you to do as you believe, right? And realize that it is you that creates reality. I'm a co-creator, but I cannot do it for you. I didn't get the memo that lightness equal manifestation. I guess I'm wrong with how I approach it. No, I think lightness is what we were trying to manifest in this space, if anything, dear hoops. I've been to Stockholm, but I learned about it from the Family Guy episode where they recreate some Stephen King novel. Not doing that, yeah, exactly. Does seem like there's a little bit of this energy coming out, right? Like, it's been a thing for the last week now. Hey, Christy is here. Yeah, no, Buff. I don't think Buff's name. Last of the Survivor is John. It's nice having you here, Christy. I'm sending you so much love. Have you ever considered modeling? You should send pictures to Versace. You're handsome. and you have a unique look. Peace be with you. Thank you, Diana. I used to do modeling. Yeah, I did. However, I never got paid, I think. Yep, I had to pay. I had to be the one paying to do modeling. You know, I've done runway shows. I have been dressed by brands. But it was one of those things where what I was expected to do would compromise what I am comfortable with doing. So I kind of like opted out of that world. Could be a thing. Could still be a thing. Who knows? Prairie to follow up. Lone Buffalo was my first randomly generated name ever. I created it when I got the original Xbox and Xbox Live when I was a kid. That's pretty cool. Have a great day. You're very informative, and it's always a blessing to see you. Diana, thank you for sharing that love. It's good to have these reminders when moments get tense. 777 has many meanings, but in conjunction with my profile picture, it's a gambling reference. Christy, why would you ask something like that? Yeah, wondering what Buffalo's name is. Maybe she's curious. I think, yeah, because Mel said John. I was talking to another friend, the guy who got. I don't know if he got banned. He got silenced for 24 hours because he did seem like he was spiraling. Right? Spiraling is definitely something we have noticed in this space. Right? Where if you get too hooked onto a belief that you are hated, you are unappreciated. I think that's a big one. You are misunderstood, right? The best way to mitigate that, I don't think, is by perpetuating that energy necessarily. We talked a little bit about just like finding some calm, right? Taking a step back, seeing from the larger perspective. Oh, I don't even know. I've been off for a few days. What's been going on? Whew. Lots of energy, Christy. Lots and lots of energy. It has been a little bit tumultuous, you know, and I've been trying to remain positive for the most part, right? Despite this tumultuous energy that sometimes arises. And I think I've been doing good. I would like to believe I'm doing good. It's been hard. It's been hard on me. It's been taxing my mind and my body. But it is something that I feel is important. I feel like conscious evolution isn't just sunshine and rainbows. Even though love is true, conscious evolution is like growing out of your shell, you know? Like you're gonna have to shed that shell and it's gonna get tight. It's gonna get uncomfortable. You're gonna get all until you break out and you can free yourself again on the other side of it. I want a sentient Edgar Allan Poe replicant for a bartender. That sounds so sick. Edgar Allan Poe is a bartender. He would just like have the most sick lines, right? Diss you about your drinking problem in the coolest way possible. There's herds of those around here. We got Sha, legendary, joining us too. Hey Sha, it's nice having you. Bunch of stuff, Christy. You know, Melt, you'd have a lot more viewers if you just hand out gift cards. It's not that hard. Like this. It's not real money if it's on a credit card. Yeah. Why don't I just like start telling people if they stick around for the whole live stream, I'll give them a PlayStation 5, right? Suddenly my viewership goes up 3x. You know, if you send this live stream to 17 people, it gives you one extra entry to win PlayStation 5, right? Quickly, go do it. Like, or I could just, you know, do what some YouTubers do and keep spamming, come on, give super chat, you know, give super chat, and then I can put rubber bands around watermelon, right? And then loop. I don't even make my own content. I just loop that same video over and over again. And then I could also like have 4,000 viewers and make hundreds of dollars per stream, you know, stealing it from kids. Oh, silly me. Oh, I'm so fucking stupid. I think I was lagging behind. It's okay. Jon Snow of comments. Shake and shake the ketchup bottle. None will come, and that's a lot. I feel like it's been pretty hectic the past few weeks. It seems like there's a lot of energy in the mental space, right? And it makes sense. Our planet is literally going through growing pains. I think, like, actually, right? And our planet is this collective consciousness, including ourselves, including the animals, including the trees, right? There's a collective consciousness going on. And the way that you use your consciousness, right, the signals you input into consciousness affects all of consciousness. And it does seem like there's a lot of signal of angst, a lot of signal of worry, a lot of signal of confusion, uncertainty. Like, that signal seems to be really strong right now. And I'm showing up in today's stream with this willingness to talk about manifestation as a extension of your belief, right? There are multiple realities available to all of us at all times. And it's the one that we choose, the one that we believe we deserve, that we'll end up getting, I think. On lurking to send good vibes to Christy. That's nice, y'all. Thank you. Oh my goodness, now my kids used to repeat that ad nauseum. The ketchup bottle thing. And then a lol. I don't think I've heard that one before. Edgar Allan Poe as a bartender would be furiously ripping up the floorboards. It's not illegal the first time. On lurking to send good vibes to Christy. The basis of the Geneva Convention. Yeah, see. Bro, I found you a job since you're still waiting to be registered. Yeah, Kid D? Tell me, what job you got for me, bro? Tell me. I like jobs. I like working. I wouldn't be able to work here in America, of course. I wouldn't dare. But maybe I could work somewhere else. I don't even know what the rules are surrounding that part of it. Whew. What a breath. Yeah. Manifesting by believing, right? I believe that this space is going to be a gem of conscious evolution, right? Every single one of these moments that we've experienced throughout this week that seem to be charged with energy, right, has given us perspective on what it is we do and do not want for ourselves. What it is we want and don't want to believe about our reality as we're having it right now, right? Believing unabashedly that there is no more hope, that there's, no room for redemption, this willingness of our current society to wash its hands, right? It's the whole cancel culture kind of thing. It's like, you know what? Fuck that person forever. And I'm never gonna ever, forever, never consider them ever again. Why? Why are we like that? I think it is a matter of like permanence / impermanence, right? It's like all of us are so aware of the fact that everything is impermanent. So we try to make permanent certain things, right? We try to make permanent hatred. We try to make permanent disappointment. We try to make permanent distrust, right? Nobody wants to give anybody the benefit of the mind. Nobody wants to believe anybody has any good intent, right? And I think that is a current symptom of our society. But I also would like to believe that it's not going to be the end of the story. And this space that we're in right now is a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? The kind of problems we face are symptomatic to the kind of problems we face as a people, right? And again, this is how you consciously evolve. You pay close attention. You learn. You say thank you. Sometimes. It leads me to a nihilistic conclusion. The lack of permanence is something I struggle with. It's something that most people struggle with, dear Lone Buffalo, right? Wise words of Oasis. Don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger. Look forward with hope. Impermanence is scary, Lone Buffalo, right? And again, there is this thing about our egos fighting this nihilistic conclusion in trying to shape what it is we can believe about our reality, right? Like trying to crystallize a certain idea of what we think is true. And like it's a matter of belief. It is a matter of belief, right? What you believe is this active thing. You cannot believe something and right? Believing something, it can be made true, but you cannot have those at the same time, right? And that's why I've been using the word belief so much, because I can believe that I'll have a super suit one day, right? Nanomachines that keep my body cool and can be manipulated in texture and color so that I can dress myself with my mind, right? I believe that I'll have that technology one day. However, I can't know it to be true, right? It's purely a belief inside my mind space right now. And one of the reasons that I fight against impermanence is because I want to see the things that I believe is possible for our species come into reality. I want to see them become true. And then as soon as they do, and I manifested that reality, that is going to be the new foundation on what I get to believe going forward. And the more ridiculous my beliefs are right now, and seeing the completion, the manifestation of that belief come to fruition, the more ridiculous of new things I can believe on top of it, right? You're so insightful, Sir Mel. Shosh. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining us and for sharing kindness. I'm not trying to be insightful as much as I'm trying to impress upon the mind of all of us that there is hope. There is so much hope for the future, even though impermanence seems to be the only thing that we can really bet on, right? The change is the only constant kind of thing. That's true. But acknowledge, at the very least, that how things change does, at the very least, have some correlation to what you believe was going to happen, right? I believed that I'm gonna have a fun time, right? There's also like the other side of it where you can believe so much that you end up hurting yourself. Sir Melt a lot. I like that. Who said that? Who said Sir Melt a lot? Was that you? I kind of like that too. Let me see my all messages. Maybe I've been missing some. I might have. Kid D, where to, Christy? And then some dude in your area is looking for a lawnmower. He'll pay you $26. Well, I can't take that job because I would be taking a job from someone else, Kid D. He'll have to do it himself. Excited for vacation. You going on vacation soon? Nice. We're taking the kids to the Ocean City with my little sister and her boyfriend for 4 nighs. And then we'll be going to Puerto Rico. That sounds awesome, Christy. Does anyone have any plans? None here. Lack of permanence is something I struggle with. It leads me to nihilistic conclusions. Embrace the change. Embrace the change, yeah. See it as novelty, ceaselessly unfolding right in front of you. It's in Maryland. It's winter this side. Worst season for a vacation. Yeah, South Africa is cold right now. Ocean City, Maryland. I guess that's part of what I struggle with, Wolf. What happens when even my ego is gone? I have a feeling none of it will matter. Let's sit with that for a second. When your ego is gone, will none of it matter? It won't matter to you, right? To the ego that you consider yourself to be, it will not matter when it is gone. However, there's more to this experience than that of our ego, right? I think ego is like a film, a sliver of the ball that is your consciousness, right? It's like the face, the facing side. And when that film, when that bubble gets bursted, all of that energy that is contained within that ego becomes a part of reality again, right? The whole analogy of a drop as an ocean wave curves over and a drop falls from this ocean wave, right? Here this drop floats in space on its way back to the water surface. And we can look at that. If we could slow down time, we can watch this wave curl up, and then we can see this drop separating off, and we can be like, oh, look, a drop. That is a drop, we say. And then we watch that drop back into the ocean surface. And then we're like, oh, ocean, right? It's ego. Ego is the one that assigns. Ah, yes, wave. Ah, yes, drop. Ah, back ocean, right? And you are the same thing, right? You are the same thing. You can consider it inconsequential, the drop that you were, right? Like, oh, it doesn't matter what happens, right? I'm just a drop that will melt back into the ocean. And you know, maybe that could be an important way for you to consider it. The very first card in this deck is called One Drop. That's what it looks like. One drop. Right? And I'm going to read this card just because I feel like it needs to be heard. In accordance with unity and spirit, the circle represents a beginning that has no end. Right? It is ever expanding potential and represents our connection with the holographic nature of oneness. We live in a world that at times feels overpowering and chaotic. It is easy to get caught up in a wild ride of emotional waves that feel as if they are out of your control, about to crash in upon you. Let's read that one again, because I feel like that has been what we've experienced in this space for a little bit. In a world that at times feels overpowering and chaotic, it is so easy to get caught up in a wild ride of emotional waves that feel as if they are out of your control, about to crash in upon you. Quantum physics views matter as a wave structure of space reality that is both continuous and discrete, both local and non-local. Sometimes it's all too much to handle. You are the one drop that sits in the center of this circle and of your own reality. It is within this quiet place that you have the potential to experience calm amidst the chaos of modern day existence. Choosing this card suggests that you enter the golden circle and view its potential. Create for yourself. Create, manifest for yourself a place of calm where you may be quiet. Meditate and remove yourself from the demands that consume your time and aggravate your emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual bodies. Remove yourself for a while from the chaos, allowing and knowing that in this stillness, this calm place, one drop is all there is. View the rest of your life from this relaxed, tranquil, and composed place. And then there's a Rumi poem, 3 lines. I have one small drop of knowing in my soul, let it dissolve in your ocean. Let it dissolve in your ocean. One small drop of knowing. That's what the ego is, Lone Buffalo. And when it's gone, you dissolve into knowing. You don't dissolve into nothing. You dissolve into knowing, right? And that's what matters. That's what matters at the end, is that you are contributing all of consciousness to consciousness, all of your consciousness to the larger consciousness that we're a part of as well, right? Go and look up morphic fields a little bit, Lone Buffalo. I know you are a smart guy and that you like engaging with interesting topics. Go and check out morphic fields, right? It's wildly fascinating. There's a whole book written on it, very controversial book. The book, the scientific community literally wanted the book burned. Literally. They were like, nope, burn this book. Nobody should read this. This is dangerous for people to think about. Impermanence is one of those things that I've learned to appreciate because it will all end eventually. That's what makes the moment so precious. That's what makes the moment matter, to say it like that. That's awesome, Joe. It's the ability to blip out at any time. Fair enough, Xiao. You're so insightful. Love is strictly true. Thank you again, Xiao. Sir Melt a lot. I like that. It might not matter. The meaning and value is what we make of it, what we manifest, what we cultivate within, making peace internally with whatever chaotic things the world might spring on us. Wise bot, she knows. Ah yeah, the Knights of the Sun need 3 syllables. Unthinkable that anybody these days would go through with the oath though, considering what they ask of you. The Knights of the Sun. Can't y'all tell MeltMore to take the job? Kid D, it's illegal for legal immigrants to work legally. Yes. Don't you know? Don't you even know that it's illegal for me, a legal immigrant, to work legally? I have to first ask permission and then receive permission before I can even consider working legally. The Knights who say ni? We're the Knights who say ni. When even my echo is gone. The world we live in itself is an echo that will fade away entirely. Doing the best with what we've got, with what we know, how. Trusting everyone else is doing the same, letting people do as they are. How is it illegal? Literally, by the law, it is illegal. If I start taking a salary, all right, I am frauding. I am doing a fraud, right? Illegal. And then they have basis on sending me back home. They were like, this fucking guy working a job, contributing to the American economy, fucking get out of here. That's how it works. Perpetual manifestation. Oh yeah, it is in your control. Most of it is, right? The part of it that you already are isn't, but the part of you that you'll become is. It's not a formal job, it's just a task that someone else that is more legal than me could do instead. Kid, I guess that gets into legalese on what you can legally define as a job. If it's perfectly chef's kiss on the card pull, right? I didn't pull the card technically, Tomo, but I did have to read it because I felt like it was getting pulled out of my mind. You can get around illegal employment by not getting paid, but getting tipped. The participant has to be willing, compensated or otherwise. Yeah, Wolf, I hate to be like this with the legal term, but the term would be gift. Yeah, it's not tips, of course, gifts. I'm sort of glad I don't understand. Yeah, gift is even better. You can't tax gifts. Tax smactions. The last DA in Philly here got imprisoned for accepting gifts so he can avoid taxes. That's kind of funny, actually. they're talking about financial piracy, comrade. Arg, yeah. I think you're allowed to gift up to like 5K in a fiscal year. There you go, Lone Buffalo. I'll be waiting for my $4,999 deposit, though. Okay, I stop. Prairie, love is true. He was cool, though. He was a member at the city club where I worked. Ah, that kind of sucks. Man, he was cool. He should have not. He's still in jail. How long is he going to be in jail for? Ever wonder how many creatures that water was in that you just drank? I think about that all the time. Not only do I think about the creatures that was in it, I think about the information it remembers. Apparently, water remembers. It carries some sort of intelligence with it as well. You can, and like the way that we can think of water remembering, you might be like, the fuck are you talking about, Mel? Water doesn't remember. It does. Water does remember. You can have a bottle of water, and then you can write on that bottle, stupid asshole. Don't do that. The water won't like that. But you can. You can write on this bottle of water, stupid asshole. And then you can like speak at the water, be like, stupid asshole, you're a stupid asshole water. You stupid asshole water. Right? And then you have another bottle of water and you write, beautiful fairy or something on it, right? Beautiful fairy. And then you go, hey, beautiful fairy, you're the most beautiful fairy. And then you take a sliver of glass and you cool it sub-zero, right? Which means that water wants to freeze when it touches it. And then you put that glass sliver, super cooled, under a microscope. And then you drop a water droplet from each of those bottles, the stupid asshole bottle and the beautiful fairy bottle. You drop a drop. And then that drop will crystallize. If it's beautiful words, it'll crystallize geometrically, right? It'll be aesthetically pleasing, like a snowflake. And the water that got cursed literally will fractal in a way that's not aesthetically pleasing, right? It'll be malformed. I'm serious. This is real stuff. The water remembers. The water, and you are the water as well, right? It does remember. You cannot help but influence reality. The very water that you're drinking is listening to you. I'm sorry for chewing my coffee. It's almost done. Water is soup. If I am 70% water, am I soup? I think you have to be able to eat soup with a spoon, though. That sounds like something from Frozen. I mean, check this out, Tomo. I think it hits a little bit harder with imagery. Because what I'm saying is very real. It's well documented, even. I think his name was Omata. Let's do it like this first. Can you tell me about the Japanese scientist Omata or Emoto that did studies on water and the way that they crystallize depending on the messages that you project onto that water before you crystallize them? Is that Zano? Zano, sending you love, dear friend. You and little Vincent and your beloved too. I hope you're doing well and taking care. It's such a pleasure having you here with us, giving us some drive-by lovins. You're so appreciated, even if you're just here for a single moment. About soup buffalo. Sounds like something from Frozen. If I'm 70% water, am I soup? Squints. You're like a Lunchable. You have to put work into it before you're ready to go. Water memory is real. There we go. Oh yeah, I am soup. Leaving already? No, I'm still here. There we go. Yeah, you're thinking of, oh, he passed away. Sad. Hi, Vinny is doing wonderful. He's walking now. Jeebies. That's crazy. That's crazy. He was just a little baby and now he's walking. Now you're gonna be like, oh, I miss the days when I didn't have to worry about him getting into things, probably. Love is true. I'm happy that he's walking like Zano. That's so cute. All right. What you're thinking of, who you're thinking of, is Masaru Emoto. Born in 1943, died in 2014. He's a Japanese author and an entrepreneur who gained worldwide fame in the late 1990s and early 2000s for his claim that human consciousness can physically alter the molecular structure of water. What? Who passed away, Melt? Masaru Emoto, the Japanese scientist who basically popularized the idea that we have the ability to change water structure. I choose light blue as the color. Bus driver. It's probably easier to just find the bus kid. Yeah. Okay. While he is frequently referred to as a scientist in popular culture, largely due to his best-selling book The Hidden Messages in Water and his appearance in a 2004 documentary, What the Bleep Do We Know?, his background was actually in international relations and alternative medicine. Good to know. Not a scientist, but doesn't really matter to me that much. The core premise and the experiment. I choose light blue. Okay, for a card, I'll pull it soon. The blueprint. Emoto's theory was that water acts as a blueprint for our reality, and that emotional energy, words, thoughts, and even music vibrate at frequencies capable of changing its physical form. That's what we were talking about today, right? That you have the ability to manifest a reality based on your beliefs. And your beliefs can be seen as emotional energy, as the words you say, as the thoughts that you have, as the music that you listen to. To test this, his team would expose water samples to different stimuli before freezing them and then photographing the resulting crystals under a microscope. Positive stimuli, water bottles labeled with typed words like thank you, love, appreciation, and then played classical music like Mozart, or even exposed the water to prayers. The negative stimuli was the water bottles were labeled like you fool, Satan, I will kill you, and then played heavy metal music or left in an area that there is high stress. The claimed results. Emoto published thousands of striking side-by-side photographs to illustrate his findings. The positive water formed beautifully symmetrical, intricate, colorful, hexagonal crystals resembling classic snowflakes. The negative water failed to form cohesive crystals at all, instead collapsing into asymmetrical, fractured, or even little muddy-looking blobs. From this, Emoto argued that because the human body is roughly 60 to 70% water, our thoughts and even our spoken words have a profound and literal impact on our health, our well-being, and even the environment around us. Yeah. Emoto's crystals from water. Yeah. And I've showed this on stream before, but I'll show again. Look at these. And they would crystallize different, depending on what message you give them. So love and joy and gratitude and hope, eternity, harmony, compassion, wisdom, truth, right? Beautiful crystal structures. Side by side. Yeah, look at that. Thank you, you fool. Right? That is really, really cool. There's some more. You disgust me. Look at that. Yeah. Whoever thought that this was a good feature to have? Yeah, all right. I think that's good. I think you friends got the gist. We are very powerful. More powerful than I think we have any really right in knowing sometimes. And that is the point, at least, that I've been trying to make in today's stream. Love the color spelling. Can. Water is a conduit. Constantine. I have a controversial question. Honey versus maple syrup. Depends on what you want, right? I'm a honey person myself. Maple syrup takes a lot of energy to actually make. Mel doesn't want a job, I see. Kitty, listen. Listen closely. Listen of your ears. Listen, listen. If I get a job right now, I'm not allowed to stay in this country. Alright? I'm gonna continue to ignore you. I'm gonna ignore you completely if you go down this line. I would love to have a job, but I'm waiting. If you're not allowed to, kid, why not? Should I call friends over? A really good book to read about crystal fractals is The Language of Crystals by Roger Calverley. Calverley. That sounds really cool. Who will stop me? You can't stop me. Probably not God. Nobody. Not even God can stop Kid Dolphin. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Yes. Yeah. All right. I think it's time for me to pull a card officially. Light blue. I hate law-abiding citizens. Bro. I am law-abiding because I like my wife and I like my life. And if I don't abide by the laws, I lose access to my wife and the life that I am building myself here. All right? No amount of money would be worth it to me. Thought you were a warlock. I am, bro. I am creating. I am still doing the job that I'm meant to do, right? This is my real job, Kid D. If I wasn't doing my job, you wouldn't have a platform to meme on right now, right? That's kind of the point. I'm still showing up for the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. This is my job, oh. This is it. If he's not naturalized, is he a citizen? I don't have to be naturalized to be a citizen, I think, technically. I think I officially become like a citizen when I'm naturalized. Not lock, but lock. Like low Q. Am I a low Q? I don't know what that means, Kid D. Godolphin. I don't know what that means, bro. No stops in chat. Let's try again. And somebody sent me a stop in chat so I could pull a card. Your influence will help manifest this next card. There we go. Thank you, Sam. Bro, you need a piece of paper to tell you where you can be? Yeah. Absurd, isn't it? Pretty absurd. It's not the way that I would like for it to be. It's not the way I would ideally choose in this reality. Just try to translate child speak with more child speak. Society is absurd. Very much so. Very much so. I would love to be of help and to be compensated for the help that I bring. And I will be. Right? I can stress myself out by believing that I'm falling behind, that all of the asset prices are running away from me. Oh, I'm not going to get a chance to earn enough wealth to maybe retire one day. Not me, you know. But no, I don't believe that. Stop right now. Thank you very much. Love is true. I drive with no license. I don't need a car to tell me I can drive or not. Until someone does, kid. Yeah. Until you maybe like bump up against someone's car or you get pulled over by a police officer, you know, for speeding or whatever. And then you get put in actual jail, right? Because when you're on the road, you're now in a public space and your inability to drive safely could literally kill yourself or kill another person, right? Those are the stakes that we're working with when it comes to like driving the roads. All right, so it is a little bit serious. All right, that's why we have laws. I'm as against the laws as anybody else's. But still, that sounds harsh. Maybe Dominus Ferox, maybe a little bit harsh, but it's still the reality of the situation. You know, the police don't work in South Africa. Can you rephrase it better in Queen's English? Where in South Africa? Where is RSA? That's South Africa. The Republic of South Africa. One more time. Faces of Angkor. Card number 18. I pulled it upside down. So we'll read that one first. Get up from the TV. Learn something new. He's from Africa, Ferox. Yeah. Ik kan Afrikaans met jou praat, Ferox, maar ek gaan sukkel om Queen's English met jou te praat. They have licenses and police in Africa. Yeah, you do actually have licenses and police in Africa. Ancient wisdom. Diamond geometries illuminate the enigmatic faces carved on the Bayan temples at Angkor. It's a vast city of sacred architecture in Cambodia. At this temple site, some 37 of the, at this temple site, some 37 of the 49 to 54 original face towers still stand in silent affirmation of the ancient wisdom. Those face towers. Young Buddhist monks enjoy the afternoon light and the glow of the massive meditative portraits. A deep sense of peace and wisdom permeates this ancient sacred place. This card invites you to explore the realms of ancient wisdom. Long-held secret, ancient wisdom traditions are becoming increasingly accessible for our exploration. The more we learn about the peoples who walked the earth before us, the more fully we may understand our own humanness. This card encourages you to investigate any tradition to which you are attracted. There are many to enjoy, yet what you are seeking is more than a superficial glance. This may be a time for deeper study, or perhaps it is in your future to make a pilgrimage to places where ancient wisdom dwells. Where might you adventure, be it by book or by boat, internet or jet plane? Become a seeker of ancient wisdom and witness how it will change your life. Adventure forth with an open heart and mind, and be prepared to learn as much about yourself as you will about those who came before you. Remember to enjoy. Enjoy yourself some life. That's hardcore, Rose. I'd obey all the laws that the police utilize literal zoo-grade animals. They guile and battle hardness of drunken cling. That's hilarious. The police ride rhinos into traffic and they arrest you. You get to ride it. Man, not suddenly I want to get arrested. Right takers. All right. I think I've read all of the chat. Oof. Oof is right. I appreciate you friends for joining me today. It's a pleasure. Seriously, getting to grow in these ways, getting to share this idea with friends about the manifestation of our futures, of the reality that we're in, right? Realizing that we do have more power than we might believe in shaping reality. I think we have been allowed to see it in this space directly, right? We've been allowed so much perspective of like, hey, what you believe gets you a certain reality, right? I believe new rap will save the world. There we go, bro. That's a cool belief to have, right? Imagining people becoming more connected because of these messages. Yo, Melt, what did you tell these people about South Africa? That it's a great place. That it's a great place where the police ride rhinos. Yep, true fact. I come from South Africa. It's true. Yep. You can believe me. I will save the world. Dream tooth. Good. You're gonna do some new rap, Kid D? You should call yourself Kid Dolphin, bro. That's a cool rapper name. That's a real cool. Like you've heard about like all of the little Uzi, little Slurp Slurp, or whatever. You can be Kid Dolphin. Kid is an interesting one. I'm still in my Slim Shady era. Please stand up, Christy. Not via rapping with I make beat good. Silly two-time creature. It's nice having you here again too, friend. We're just about at the end of today's stream. I appreciate you friends for joining me. It is time to say goodbye. As Zano said, bye-bye everyone. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. Beats on my channel. Check. I'll check it. Told us that the infrastructure is 80% duct tape. That coarse language is both more acceptable and not acceptable at all, depending on where you are. And also told us several times about all of the hobby criminals. Check, check. No. No, Kid D, I'm not gonna check right now. Thank you for all of the hearts. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's appreciated. Thank you again for the $2, Lone Buffalo. Very soon, I'll have enough money to start promising people PlayStations. And then I'm gonna have so many viewers. Yeah, the most viewers even. Everybody's gonna get PlayStations. Love is true, Tomokarm. Love to you. Thank you for joining me. It's nice having you friends here. And I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. Bye. Cheers. Ta-ta.